Hello, my name is Robert Montgomery representing Team 4745, which includes myself, Peter Shore, and Cameron Nelson. Our task for this OSS project was to write tests for a model, collusioncycle.rb. A collusion cycle is used to calculate potential cycles between peer reviews. More specifically, the model is used to represent relationships between reviewers and calculate review correlations, as well as other statistics such as similarity and deviation between each of the reviews. The model is built to handle 2, 3, and 4 node cycles. Here we see the 2 node cycle, which loops through each of the reviewers and checks if there is a review from any of the participants, basically checking if there is a cycle. If there is not a cycle, then the loop is skipped and the collusion cycle is returned. If there is a cycle, then the values of the participants and review score are inserted into the collusion cycle. To save time, I will skip the 3 node and 4 node cycle, since they are functionally the same but have to check more conditions to determine if there is a cycle. At the bottom of the collusion cycle file, we find the methods used to calculate statistics, such as similarity between the review scores or the deviation of the review scores. These are simple calculations that do not require the same level of testing as the methods above. Now let's take a look at the test file. The beginning of the test file includes all of our stubs that are common to each of the tests. As an example, each test must have participants, and nearly all of them need reviews. These are placed at the top of the file, as well as a few scattered within each test itself that are specific to that test in order to keep the code dry. Here we see the section for the 2-node cycle. As you can see, we used many context statements to help organize the code and add more self-documentation. Each context statement represents a branch of code that we decided to test in order to ensure that we got 100% coverage. Nesting of each of the context statements represents an AND operation of sorts. As you can see, this context statement describes a situation where the reviewers of the current reviewer do not include the current assignment participant, and therefore it should skip the reviewer and return the corresponding collusion cycles. In this block, you see an example of the AND operation, where the reviewers of the current reviewer include the assignment participant, and the assignment participant did not receive a review from the current reviewer. So in this case, it should skip the current reviewer and return the collusion cycle. Again, since the 3-node and 4-node cycles are functionally the same operation, except that they use a much longer for loop to detect cycles, we will skip them in order to save time. At the bottom of the file, you will find the tests for the calculation methods, such as similarity and deviation. These are simple to test, and all we needed to do to get coverage was pass in values, calculate the expected value by hand, and ensure that the method returns the value that we expect. In addition, we wanted to test these methods to make sure they work with 2, 3, and 4 node cycles. Now that we have covered some of the code, let's show it actually running. To run the test, simply type rspec/models/collusion cycle spec.rb to get it to run. Now that we see all the tests pass, let's check the coverage. As you can see, we have reached 100% coverage for this file. This concludes the overview of the task of getting the test of collusioncycle.rb to 100% coverage. For more information, please check our wiki or our GitHub, which you can find a link to in the description. Thanks.